Hello there, here we are again. Spring came late to the valley of Lemuel. It was beautiful because even the desert blossoms in the springtime, they were lovely. Sariah found great pleasure in gathering the desert flowers. They were brighter and more delicately shaped than she'd ever seen before. While Sariah's heart was filled with joy, Lehi was thoughtful and quiet. He saw Laman and Lemuel grow restless and more quarrelsome day by day. Soon they would rebel, and they'd do it openly. If only he knew how to strengthen their faith and make them appreciate the many blessings they enjoyed. Perhaps if they were to start their journey to the promised land, they would find life more interesting. He would pray to God for guidance. This thought sent him out into the wilderness to be alone with God. After a while, God spoke to him, telling him that it was not meant for him to take his family into the wilderness alone, for that his sons would marry first, so that they might raise families unto God in the promised land. The Lord commanded him to send his sons back to Jerusalem, to bring Ishmael and his family down to the wilderness, so they might journey with them to the promised land. After God had spoken to Lehi, he was troubled by the thought of breaking the news to Sarah. He remembered how she had grieved when her sons had gone to Jerusalem before, but tell her he must, for he would keep the commandments of God, and they were given to him. When he reached the tent, Sariah was inside busily embroidering the fine linen Sam had brought her. When she saw him, she put it away quickly and waited for him to speak. Laman and Lemuel have worried me deeply of late, he said. Yes, I know. But how do you know? I have never spoke of it. When a person loves someone as much as I love you, there are many things you know without being told. Yes, I believe that, he said, taking her tiny worn hand in his. But you have something else to tell me. Lehi's eyes went wide with surprise. Yes, do you have something to tell you? Yes, I do. I am dreading it. But please don't let it grieve you too much, for I know they will be safe. What is it? Asked Sariah, no longer smiling. When he finished telling her what the Lord had said, he expected her to cry or grow very angry. But he was completely unprepared when she said, Oh, Lehi, what a wonderful news! What wonderful idea! You're happy about it? Questioned Lehi with amazement. Yes, indeed. I have been troubled about it for a long time. I was afraid my sons would never have the opportunity to get married. I thought we would never see any grandchildren, and when our sons passed away, our family would be no more. But now we will prosper and have many children. God is wise and merciful. Will you tell our sons why they are making the trip? Asked Sariah. Yes, I think they should know, because Ishmael may think he is to come alone. Have you thought that Ishmael might try to harm our sons, as Laban tried to do? No, he will not harm them. I know Ishmael and his wife. They are good people, and besides, God will soften their hearts before our sons even reach Jerusalem. Oh, my dear, said Lehi, your faith is so strong now that it makes me very happy. Ishmael, good-natured and smiling, sat talking to Lehi's sons. When they had knocked at the door earlier in the evening, he had invited them in and asked them to sit and talk with him and have refreshments. As they talked, the brothers felt that they had gained favour in the sight of Ishmael. I know your father must have had a purpose in sending you to me. Did you send me a message? questioned Ishmael. The question came so suddenly that they were taken off guard and sat looking at each other. Lemuel, Sam, Nephi looked at Laman to reply, but Laman looked at Nephi and nodded to him to speak. Yes, my father did send us with a message. The Lord commanded him to say. Now Ishmael believed in the prophet of the Lord and said eagerly, Come on, boy, don't keep me waiting. Give me the message your father sent me. The Lord commanded my father to send you up to Jerusalem to your house. We are to invite you to come down into the wilderness to my father's tent and go with us to the promised land, said Nephi. You and your household, amended Laman. My household? Would that include my 5 daughters? Asked Ishmael, with a twinkle in his eyes. Nephi was plainly embarrassed. His face went as deep as red, and beads of perspiration stood out on his forehead. But he said with dignity, Yes, the Lord told my father that we should not go into the wilderness alone, but that we should marry and raise families to him in the promised land. But there are only 4 of you, and I have 5 daughters. Laman told Zoram. What kind of man is Zoram? Asked Ishmael. He is a fine man, said Laman, and free. I favour the idea, said Ishmael, but first of all I must have a chance to talk to my family. I must tell my good wife and my 2 sons and their families and my daughters. Come back tomorrow night and I will give you an answer. Do you have a place to stay tonight? Yes, we have camped just beyond the walls of the city, said Lemuel.